Does anybody remember that? Does anybody remember? Do you know what that movie is from? What that thing is from? What movie that thing is from? Do you know? I'll give it to you one more time. See if you can identify what movie I'm reenacting this from. In 5, 4. And they throw it under. Does anybody know? One of the greatest movies. My mom took me in the 90s to go see that movie when it came out in theaters. One of the greatest movies. I'll tell you in a little bit. Welcome.
Do you think we're babies?
Well, it depends who we're talking to.
Do you think we're babies? Your brain's cooked.
Maybe your brain's cooked. Now,
Legalize comedy.
they did, but there are some things in the news today that are just not comedic, as they pronounce it in doorway, Dutch way, schunkelak, choo 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 choo, wa ba ba ba. What am I gonna play first? What we have so much to get to, so much to get to. Ooh, so much to get to. Tomorrow's the big vote, guys. It's Epstein Files Eve. I don't know if you guys hung your stockings or if you've been good enough this year. Were you guys good enough this year? Epstein Files Eve. That's when your senators come and deliver a packet of paper of files down the chimney. So Merry Epstein Files Eve. Tomorrow is the vote. Tomorrow's the big vote. Unfortunately, I do have some unfortunate news for all of us who were excited to finally see if we could hold these powerful people, some of them nepotism babies, old Nepo babies, like Dirty Donald Trump, who was blowing Bubba. Who's Bubba? Valenti Videos, love you, Chris. Absolutely. You're just a doll. You're a doll, Chris. You make me laugh out loud. Check out Valenti Videos. Link down in the description. Valenti was telling me that, not like personally, like as I was watching Valenti Vids, I heard him talk about Ghislaine Maxwell had a horse named Bubba. Just putting that out there. Because remember, I reported here, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I reported here that Mark Epstein, Jeff's brother, said Bubba isn't Bill Clinton. If you don't know what I'm talking about, hold on. Maybe I have to. Oh, disappear. Where'd I go? MAGA got real worried right there. What? Where'd he go? They still fall for peekaboo. Because they're morons. And that's not me saying that, guys. I love everybody. Jesus tells me to love everybody. That's not me calling MAGA morons. That's Donald Trump.
Smart people don't like me.
Smart people don't like him. I don't know what to tell you. You mad at me because he called you stupid? Okay, weird. And to think, Donald Trump's mouth was the real ballroom. How he's erecting the Epstein Memorial Ballroom. Okay. Here it is. Here, if you don't know what I'm talking about, ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump, Bubba. Okay? Just so we're all on the same page. Donald Trump, a very maybe gay man. Which solidarity with you, brother, In the land of the free, you should be able to express your sexuality however you'd like. I support that. I don't know why you're so anti it. I don't know why you're out here like tweeting like this. Real suspicious. Yo, if you've been paying attention for the past 10 years here in America, Melania doesn't really like Donald. Have you seen her anywhere? I'm pretty sure that's why he tore down the East Wing. He was like, well, she's never gonna be there. Melania. But we all knew this is kind of a farce, I mean, the dude has dementia, right? ADH dementia. Prove it. Release the MRI results. He told us he took that donkey giraffe Bubba quiz or whatever. He said, I took the dementia quiz, but he called it an IQ test, again, because he's an idiot. But, yo, I love this. Laura Bassett says the White House aggressively posting Trump is straight content. amid the BJ email. Look at that. I can't help falling in love with you. He's thinking of Bubba though, you know. And notice, look at that kiss. That looks like you're leaving your aunt. Looks like you said goodbye to your aunt at the Christmas party and you're getting a kiss. My Christ, really? Can't help falling in love? Yeah, it looks like it. You're thinking of Bubba. He's thinking of Bubba. It's so funny. So now that we're all on the same pagne, that's page. We're gonna do some news. We're gonna do the news. President Reagan's here. What's up? Salvador Flores. Love that name. That's a name. Bro, everything you just said went over their heads. They're stupid. It's true. It's true. I love you gotta appreciate the dedication to these guardians of PDF files. John Me, clear troll account. He's like, me John. I'll just have that. I can't have John Me be my real account. Why didn't the Democrats release? Oh, Jesus. We're still doing this? Who cares? Who cares, right? Who cares? Just release the list. And we're going to get into it. We're going to play a PSA by the survivors. Absolutely powerful. One of them, I mean, we don't even, I talk about this all the time. Welcome to the show. I'm Rob. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I bring the news to you. I go out into the news orchards. You know, I'm still doing these jobs. I'm going out into the news orchards, looking for the ripest news and plucking it from the vine and bringing it in my wheelbarrow to the donkey where I saddle him up with the saddlebags. And I take the long haul all the way back here in front of you in the internet and I deliver you freshly squeezed news. So if you could, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. But this PSA, and I've said this for a while, man, America used to have cool PSAs. There used to be a star that I went across the screen. I'll do a screenshot of it so I can, and they used to say, the more you know, do. We used to have after school specials, Hootie. What did he do? Someone was give a hoot, don't pollute. Then there was Smokey, the forest bear, the fire bear, whatever he was. Was he a Pokemon? Smokey the forest ranger, who said only you can start a forest fire. And I thought that's an inspirational message. Maybe I'll try today. And then I realized I understood it wrong. I was a moron as a kid. But this PSA, some of you young heads might not even understand what that means. Public service announcement done by the Epstein survivors is a very powerful thing. I'm going to pull up some screenshots. I'm going to play the audio for you. But before we get into that, I got some other news for you.
It's a trap.
It's not a trap. You shut your mouth.
I
I'm
Steve.
just kidding. I am Rob. I am Groot. So hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Join me every single weekday. Even when America finally respects the working class, goes down to a 3-day work week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we have a 4-day weekend like 100 years ago the robber barons thought we would because of technology, I'll still be here 5 days a week. And if you hit the notification bell, you know that I went live on Saturday. We had 156,000 people stop by. That's bananas. That's bananas. That's bananas. Bingo. That is bananas. So join us. We're growing, folks. We're growing like Trump thinking about Bubba. You know what I mean? Do you not get the reference? Hold on. Let me pull up the email in case you don't get the reference. Read that line right there. Then you get the this show is growing like Donald Trump thinking about Bubba. Do you see what he did to Bubba? For second gay president. That's why he told them Proud Boys. He was like, stand back and stand by and get those high heels on, boys. The Proud Boys. Oh my God. MAGA. Every accusation is an admission. MAGA. Make America gay again. Maybe that's what MAGA stands for. I'm here for it, girlfriend. You go, girl. Now, listen, I am not, but I fully support my sisters and brothers of the gay community. I love it, you know? And I didn't know MAGA stood for Make America Gay Again. Who knew? Who knew? And who is Bubba? Did you also notice that in these Epstein emails, he says, ask him if Putin has the photos, not a photo, not if he has photos, but if he has the photos. That was pointed out in some news perusing I was doozing. I was doozing the news perusing for usins, so I could bring it to you. Like I told you, I'm a news harvester. I go out into the fields and I that's mining. Shit. I go out into the fields and I snip, 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 snip. And I collect bushels and bushels and bushels of news to bring it to you. And I go, here, is this news good enough? And then you come to me and you go, squash the news and make it into a fine wine. So I do, sir. I do, sir. And in all my perusing for the news and for usins, I heard someone say, did you notice that, what is this? Jeffrey from Jeffrey Epstein Vacation. By the way, you know how last week, if you were here last week, I know Ray Gunn was here. Desi Corbus, what's up? You guys know that last week I was saying very weird that it was Jeffrey Epstein Vacations and I made a joke about it, right? Saturday Night Live is the only other motherfuckers that I heard making a joke about it. Here.
This week's Epstein documents are obviously very dark and disturbing, but I also think it's kind of adorable that Epstein's email address was jeevacation@gmail. It's like if Jeffrey Dahmer's was dinnertimejeff at Yahoo.
That's a good one. I love Michael Che and what's white Michael Che. I like Michael Che and white Michael Che. What's his name? Colin Powell? Colin Jost? Is that his name? I really like Che, though. Che is probably my favorite desktop comedian. Is that what they call him? But I was so happy because I was like, nobody else going to address the fact that old Dirty Don is getting emailed from JeffreyEpsteinVacations.com. I mean, Jesus. But anyways, who sent this? Was it Bannon? Was it Bannon? Banyan? Oh, we can't see. But anyways, whoever sent the email to EpiPenstein, said, ask him if Putin has the photos. Not wondering if they exist. They exist, and does he have them? This is bananas. Now, when we welcomed everybody in, I said, today, Mary Jeffrey Epstein emails Files Eve. Tonight is the eve where you lay out, what the fuck would you lay out for him? Where you probably set bear traps. You probably set bear traps around your house, hoping the ghost of Jeffrey Epstein doesn't come confiscate your kids. But it's Mary Epstein Files Eve, because tomorrow we've secured the votes, right? We secured the votes. We've locked in the votes. The votes are a lock, folks, okay? Hold on. That's not it. Epstein discharge petition secures final signature needed to force House vote on releasing files. We're going to get to this. So we've secured it, right? Adelita, we've secured it. The vote is tomorrow. Merry Vote Eve. Hide your wife and hide your kids because it is Epstein Files Eve. But there's a few things that Donald Trump, old sneaky Donald Trump, has been working hard, working overtime, taking care of business. This dude don't work at all. They had the government shut down. This dude is a lazy fat turd. Never worked a day in his life. Thought groceries was an old-timey word. Probably never been to a grocery store. But he will work overtime if he's got to redact his name from the files. And there is word. There is word Where's the word? That's not the word. Where's the? Did I not take a picture? Here it is. Of course I did. This word, DOJ Deputy Chief Joseph Schnitt was caught on a hidden camera saying the government will redact every Republican from the Epstein Files and leave only the Democrats. He also revealed that Ghislaine was transferred to minimum security to keep her mouth shut. Well, we knew that's what we call a duh. We talked about that here on the showgram. On the when I provide you with valuetainment, two separate words, value and tainment. We talked about that. Remember, Donald said, "Oh, I've never doodled in my life. Ask my kindergarten teacher." And then the doodles came out. That was Camp Ghislaine that released those. So he went, "Ooh, right this way, ma'am. Well, let me move you to a camp. Would you like a service puppy?" And she has a service puppy. But just so everybody's aware, Donald Trump has not only been doing sneaky little sneaks, to try to distract from him and whatever he did with Bubba in those emails. Again, I put this picture up, but Mark Epstein, Jeffrey's brother, said Bubba is not Bill Clinton, even though Bill Clinton's nickname is Bubba. I don't know how trustworthy Mark Epstein is. I would imagine that family ain't very trustworthy. You don't want to live next to them. Let's just say that. But Ghislaine did have a horse named Bubba. Food for thought. So, Donald. At this point, Donald's probably praying that it's him. Or praying that people think it's him. But not only, hold on. Not only did they redact, they used your tax dollars, hard at work, working overtime to, redact as much as they could. They used the FBI resources, not to fight crime, not to go after drugs or criminal activity. No, to redact the president's name from Epstein Files. But also, if you didn't hear, Donald went on it. These are the rantings of a clearly innocent man, right? I don't care. Wait, I gotta hear his voice. Hold on. Look, I don't care. All I do care about is that the Republicans get back on point. Bro, you were just out of work for 43 days. What are you talking about? Shut your fucking hole. So in this, he says, where is he? It's time to move on from the Democratic hoax. And then here, I want to play the audio of him calling it a hoax.
This is a Democrat hoax. This is a hoax put out by the Democrat.
This, guys, is a hoax. This is all a hoax. We didn't have AI or Photoshop back in, what the fuck does that say, 1992. But this is a hoax. It's a hoax. Please think it's a hoax. So I just want to set the stage, because then Donald Trump, so we saw him saying, late night ramblings. It's a hoax. It's a hoax. It's meant to deflect. Deflect from what? Hold on.
And a couple of few Republicans have gone along with it because they're weak and ineffective. But this is a Democrat hoax to get away from the fact that they just lost the shutdown.
So wait a minute. Hold on, because I got to try to follow this moronic logic. So it's a hoax. And the fake thing, because a hoax would mean it's not real, it's just made up. They want the fake thing released because they lost at the shutdown. So if they release that, people would forget that there was a shutdown that happened. I can't follow how stupid he is. And again, this is our president. But it's to distract and deflect from what? You know what I mean? Like, how does holding rich, powerful PDF files accountable? Remember what this is. Donald Trump says it's a hoax. Just like, the poem he wrote, Epstein. Remember when he said, it's a hoax. It doesn't exist.
Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? And Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you.
Okay, that's Polio Rogan reading the poem that Dirty Donald wrote to Jeff Epstein. Remember, that was a hoax. He didn't doodle or anything. I mean, this guy's just a pathological liar. He's a malignant narcissist. But let's move beyond the hoax. If they're wanting to vote to release this, I just can't hear him anything other than him saying I'm extremely guilty by that. Because when you think about this, if they're trying to deflect and deflect, that's what he says. Deflect from what? Wouldn't they just, if people are trying to release the Epstein list, like the survivors are asking, we're going to play that PSA in a second, this PSA. The survivors are asking for the Epstein list to come out. So they're in on the Democrat hoax, and they're trying to help the Democrats distract from the shutdown? None of this makes sense. I just want to say this out loud so you can understand, because some people are moronic. So they hear Donald Trump say that and they just don't think. They don't think. And they just go, oh, it makes perfect sense. All right, awesome. Yeah, they're just trying to deflect. All those survivors are trying to deflect from the government, the Democrats' loss in the shutdown. But in reality, if people want the Epstein Files out because they want the powerful, wealthy oligarchy that's riddled in your government, Donald. You know, the guy you appointed as ambassador to Turkey, Tom Barak, he's grossly in these emails that we just saw. Donald Trump had the FBI working overtime. But if these people want the Epstein Files out, wouldn't you be a hero to say, like, of course, let's hold these powerful people to account. Let's hold them accountable for the things they did. I don't understand how the Epstein Files has anything to do with a government shutdown. And I want to say that out loud so you can understand too. So you can go, oh yeah, that doesn't make sense. What do the Epstein Files have to do with a government shutdown? If the Democrats lost, don't you look good then? Aren't you riding high? Isn't everything perfect and all the prices are so low? Pharmaceutical companies are going to pay us to take our prescriptions now because you said they were 700% off? Like, none of this makes sense. The Epstein Files being released is a distraction? A deflection from what, bro? What does the Epstein Files have to do with your regime? And that's why I want you to understand. When he says shit like this, it's a hoax. They're doing it to deflect. What the fuck are you talking about? They want the predators being exposed and held accountable. These women, these survivors are so brave to be doing what they're doing. Oh my God. Oh my God, this guy's such a moron. But we're going to play some audio. I want to play some audio. And we're going to address Megyn Kelly again, because that dumb bitch, shouldn't be on the public airwaves. Any of them. YouTube, TV. I mean, she is a danger to our society. And Christina Ricci agrees with me. You may remember Christina Ricci from Casper the Friendly Ghost. But before I play this audio, Donald Trump now, if you didn't hear, he directed, was it Pam Blondie? He directed one of his lieutenants to open an investigation. That was the other thing in the tweet. Hold on. In the very innocent guy looking tweet. Hold on. Where is it? Oh, here. The Department of Justice has already turned over tens of thousands of pages to the public on Epstein and looking at various Democrat operatives. Right, it's only Democrats. Okay. We don't give a shit. Hold them all accountable. Awesome. Hate Larry Summers, crashed the economy in 2008, and their relationships. And the House Oversight Committee can have whatever they are legally entitled to. I don't care. You know why he said legally entitled to? Is because he asked, who was it? Pam Blond? I forget who he asked. He asked somebody, J666, what is up, man? Trump POTUS supporters need their hard drives checked. Good to see you, J66. Oh, God bless you. God bless you. Of course, I'm just ignoring the chat. If you want to get my attention, you can support the chat like J666 did. He usually says, for just 10 cents a day, you too could support an American. And it's good to have him here. It's good to have the fam here. If there's any more mods here, good to see you. Sorry, I haven't been paying attention to the chat because, MAGA's just going to bark. By the way, if you just stopped by, I didn't realize that, the email with Donald Trump, Bubba, I don't understand that MAGA this whole time secretly stood for Make America Gay Again. I didn't know that. He should come out with the rainbow hat. I'm proud of him, man. That's the first step to, stop with all the madness that you're doing to people. But who knew? Who knew? MAGA stood for Make America Gay Again. Him and Bubba, he should have a picture of him and Bubba on the hat. Legalized intellect. MAGA. Just know when you say MAGA now, we're all thinking Make America Gay Again. Trump and Bubba sitting in a tree. BLOWING. Hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Come on, that was funny. That was funny. It's Make America Gag Again, sir. Oh, man. This is so funny. It is so funny. The big, beautiful Bill Clinton. The whole time that YMCA dance. The whole time, the YMCA dance, right? No wonder why he dances like this. He's thinking about Bubba and Jeff. Bubba, Jeff, Bubba, Jeff, da-da, Jeff, da-da, Jeff. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. MAGA, Make America Gay Again. And I'm for that, man. Like, I support that. I believe if you're new to the channel, no racism, no homophobia, no bigotry, none of that. And that's why I think Make America Gay Again is a great thing, because here in America, if you're going to say we're the land of the free, you should be able to be free to marry who you want to marry. Be free to who you want to be. We should have that kind of freedom. That should separate us from the Russias and the Chinas and the stuff like that. And MAGA doesn't. MAGA wants it to be Russia. Mama Molly. People on X telling stories to defend Trump. Yeah. Mama Molly, listen, thank you for the $2 super chat, by the way. We're going to get into, so I just want to point out, the reason he said legally entitled to is because he asked to open an investigation to all the Democrats in it. So funny. So tomorrow, after Merry Epstein Files Eve, tomorrow's the vote. Put out little containers of bubbles. So, in the morning you can blow bubbles. Or, it was Bubba. Never mind. But he's going to tomorrow deny. They're going to release the Epstein Files with the vote. They have the people. And this regime is going to deny it. And they're going to say, it's an open investigation. We can. He's going to do everything he can. Watch. I wasn't reading tarot cards. That's my guess. And that's what a lot of people are saying. And that's why he's saying legally entitled to. Okay? Over here. That they are legally entitled to. Me and Bubba said no. But Doc Mac 199. Bubba. Oh my God, Doc Mac, how did you do that? How did you make that thing? That's awesome. That is awesome. Doc Mac, Mama Molly, I hope you guys have hit subscribe with the notification bell. I hope you join me. I'm Rob. I'm here every single weekday, sometimes on the weekends. And I harvest the news and I bring it to you in fresh news form. And sometimes we take that news and we stomp on it and turn it into a fine vintage oak aged wine. But we're going to get to what Mama Molly said, the defenders. By the way, this is who you're defending. This isn't hypothetical. This is Donald Trump bragging on Howard Stern. He said, I'll tell you the funniest thing. I'll go backstage before Miss Teen USA show and everyone's getting dressed. You know what? I bet you I could just fucking pull up the audio of it. I should have done that. Sorry, today's been a little hectic. Today's been a little hecky. It's always a little hecky. What is this? The Trump Miss USA pageant creep Howard Stern. Oh, look. I don't even need to type it in. Oh, my God. I didn't
What
even...
you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Tell
Well,
me
I'll
what
tell you
the-
the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm
Oh, that's how he gets away with being a creep pervo. I'm inspecting it. Right.
inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything
doctor.
is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is that
He said, and they're standing there with no clothes. You understand what he's saying? Miss Teen USA, he can go back there. And he said, they're standing there with no clothes. Oh, yeah, it's a stretch to believe this guy's the most listed name in the Epstein Files.
I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything
doctor.
is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women.
No girls. It's Miss Teen USA, so it's girls. Okay, and now, like Miss Molly said, we're going to get into the defenders of this, and then I'm going to play for you this. I will play for you this because that is powerful, and it should be played. It should be heard by everyone. Where is the thing that I took the thing of the thing? Here it is. Megyn Kelly's branded a danger to children after shocking Epstein comments. Now, if you don't know what she said, oh, I got it from a reliable source that Epstein wasn't a PDF file. He was into girls that were 15. That's not 5. Essentially, that's what she said, okay? We talked about it the other day, and I said I wanted to find this retort, an amazing retort from this 14-year-old girl. I thought she's so well-spoken. She even says, my mom said I could make this video. This is why I'm okay sharing this, because Megyn Kelly gets fucking dunked on by a 14-year-old because this 14-year-old has to put the adults in check. And I respect this, and I'm glad that her parents allowed her to do this, and that's why I want to share it with you, because when you have disgusting people like Megyn Kelly out here going all out in defense of Epstein and Trump, basically, I'll do anything for money. That's what she's saying. I'll do anything for money. I wanted to play, this is cheering for a change or something. I linked the TikTok down below. So if you want to listen to this yourself, go follow the channel. Mama Molly, thank you for the $2 super chat. Miss Teenagers USA, 14 to 19-year-olds. Yeah, that's why I call them girls, because unless it was always 18 to 19, which I'm sorry. Listen, I'm sorry. I don't trust this piece of at all. And just the fact that he was on there bragging, who's to say it wasn't all 14-year-olds? I don't know, And at this point, I don't give a shit, because I want you to understand something. This is the other thing. And thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mama Molly, for the super chat. Is it gonna... There we go. Mama Molly, thank you for the super chat. This is the other thing I wanted to say, because people, I think, we've been so normalized. The American public has been so normalized to think, because you have people like Megyn Kelly, megyn Kelly. Sorry, we discussed yesterday. She's like the Arabic genie jinn. She's like an Arabic demon. That's why her name is megyn. Mom Molly, thank you for the $2 super chat. That was the age range when he ran it. Yeah. But what I want to remind people, I want to take this moment to remind you, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, join me every single weekday as I bring you the news, and we satire it, we make fun of it, we joke about it, because it's a joke. It's a joke that people take this woman serious as a news presenter. This isn't even entertainment at this point. This is just defending pedo pans. But I want to remind people, because we become so propagandized. They've tried to normalize. This is what she's trying to do. She's trying to normalize you to think this is okay. So you go, yeah, they weren't 5, and we're going to hear from a 14-year-old. And if you're just a parent or, you have nieces, nephews, anything, I want you to think about this. In these emails, they discuss with regularity being at Jeffrey Epstein's house and him having teens there. Jeffrey Epstein was over 40 at least, right? Maybe in his 50s, I don't know, but he was over 40. Let's put it like that. And all these, Steve Bannon, Elon Musk, Kimball Musk, Donald Trump, Larry Summers, Bill Clinton, all these creeps, they discussed their massage friends party vacation house with regularity, that there were just teen girls. You would show up, Prince Andrew. acknowledge this on TV. And this is what I mean. We're so normalized that I was stepping back and I was like, I want you to think about something for a minute. I don't know what your age is, but just I want you to think about knowing somebody that's, let's say, 45, right? You know a 45-year-old guy, and he's got a real nice house down in Florida, in-ground pool, is right on the beach, and every time you went to that guy's house, it was him and teen girls. Every time you went over there, it was him and teen girls. And they ain't his daughter. They ain't his adopted kids. They ain't his nieces. They ain't his kids' nieces. They ain't his nieces' nieces. They ain't, Girl Scouts. They have no relation to him other than they were there for what? And I just want America to seriously get out of your, I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican, get out of that shit. And I just want you to think about how normalized these grown-ass men, Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, Steve Bannon, who else? Elon Musk is in the emails, that all these men were like, you go, the royal, formerly known as Prince Andrew, Mr. Mountbatten, who got punished and stripped of his titles and now has to live in a mansion in a town we don't like. It's rainy. These fucking people, man. Because I was thinking, I was like, yo, if I ever went to a dude's house who was like 45, 50 years old, and every time I went, it was just him and a bunch of teen girls, I'd be like, we need to call the fucking authorities. What is going on over here? And somehow America has just been normalized to that fact so much that she's doing this. And not even being like, no, I don't give a shit what else is happening. Epstein had a bunch of teens there, and Bannon and Elon and Trump and Larry Summers and Alan Dersh and Bill Clinton, and they just went there and they were like, oh yeah, it's Epstein and all them teen girls that he's not related to hanging out. Like, that is so... I just can't express it. As a father, as somebody who has nieces, family members, cares about society, like if I seen some 50-year-old dude always bringing in, and sometimes they were homeless, they were often poor girls, always having these poor teenage girls from the neighborhood around, just think about that. Never mind what this dumb bitch said. Just look at what she's saying. She's just trying to normalize it even more, being like, hey, they weren't 5. Fuck you, get off our airwaves. But this is so bizarre that America's having any other debate than, wait, Prince Andrew, so you went there and you knew that there were just teens there and you were like, it's fine, we're going to have a supper party. Like, this is so insane. You understand? This is so insane. And for any parent out there, I don't care if you're MAGA. If you have a 12-year-old daughter, MAGA, I want you to think if she was always going to one random dude's house that you didn't even know, like, this is not okay. To the umpteenth degree, and these men need to be held accountable. Sorry. I'm pissed because I'm like, people forget this. Beyond, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. J666, Megyn Kelly needs a visit for... Never mind CPS. We need to hold tribunals. We are the 99%. There's more of us than there are of them, guys. If we can just all agree, like, oh, this 50-year-old had all these teens over and the most powerful, wealthy, connected men in the world were going there nonchalantly, never raising an eyebrow, and continue. I don't give a shit what they did. They kept going there and were like, Jeffy Epi, he likes the young ones, as Donald said in the media in a fucking interview. Like, just that alone is enough to go, oh, dude, your kids should be taken and we should have you at a tribunal to see what else you've done. Like, this is not normal, and especially like I think it hurts even worse because I'm a father, and as a father, I'm like, nobody protected these girls. No one. Like, there were men going in and out of there and wives. We played the audio of Melinda French Gates, and she was like, oh, the Epstein stuff caused the divorce, And it's like, you dumb bitch. You didn't raise the fucking flag at no point. You didn't help those young girls. Like, you're all fucking accountable for this. And MAGA, if you voted for this and you defend it, you're accountable for this shit. Sorry, I don't mean to go on a tirade, but this is why I try to keep it light and we just joke about it, because there are so many more people that are implicated just by them saying, like, oh, I did just the fact that my husband went over there, I wasn't. And it's like, you dumb bitch, you didn't say nothing. You're part of the powerful elite. You could have stopped it. This is how you understand it's a class war, because even the rich wives are like, I'm just going to divorce him and get my billions and fucking be out of here. And it's like, you could have done more. You could have saved girls. Oh, you got all these charities to help girls? Well, how about the ones right in front of your husband? You dumb bitch. Sorry, you dumb bitch. Oh, computer guy, $9.99. Thank you for the super chat. Oh my God, you dumb bitch. You dumb bitch. Sorry. PDF file bot farm in full force in the comment feed. Keep calling them out and giving them hell. Don't let them normalize that crap. I'll never let them. Thank you, computer guy, for the $10 super chat. If you know this news show I do, this satirical, jokey, fun show where I harvest the news and bring it to yous. It's not very advertiser friendly. So people like computer guy, Molly's mama, I forget the name. Sorry, J666. You guys, everybody who's super chatted, thank you so much. I'm a little fried. Is my brain fried, Joe Rogan? Ask me. Go ahead and ask me, Joe. You know, Joe Rogan? Fuck you. You punk. You 4'3" punk. I've ridden in an elevator with him, so calm down.
Do you think we're babies?
No, that's not the one, Joe.
Your brain's cooked.
Right now it is. It's cooked when I start getting... But computer guy, yeah. I will never. So your support, that's what I was saying. Your support. This doesn't get very... You know, I'm not like Mr. Beast over here selling you fucking chocolate bars. You know, I'm calling out these assholes because they're making our communities worse. 100% worse. And if you don't like it, fucking leave. OMG IDC. Thanks, Rob. Not enough men speaking out against this. I get what you're saying, OMG IDC. I get what you're saying. But I think there are a lot of people that hate this. They just don't do a live stream like I do. And then people like this bitch, this awful bitch, she has like millions of dollars from, I don't know what billionaire's funding her. You know, he's probably on the goddamn list. But, you know, she's funded, so she goes viral. She has all the advertising money. You know, like these people that are defending it, they're well backed. You know, so that's why it's important, OMG. Computer guy, it's important that you guys support. If you can't, that's fine, you know, but because like it's $1 trillion media machine that has tried to normalize you into thinking like, oh yeah, all these men were just going over there. They just saw Jeff with all these teenage girls that were regularly there, that were like the fucking strays in the neighborhood. And they were just like, oh yeah, that's just Jeff's house. God damn. Oh my God, I'm so angry. J666, thank you. Charities are set up to be a smoke show. 100% distraction. Well, no, you know what they are? They're a shield so people can't criticize them. Oh, you hate charity. Oh, you don't. Oh, I guess you can't do it. That's what Mr. Beast does. You can't do anything good. It's like, shut your fucking hole, dude. Oh my God. Sam Freedom, thank you for the $1. Thank you guys for supporting. Who's calling me a beta? Shut up. You know what the beta is? Not standing up to this. Who's a beta, you punk. Mama Molly, never forget, CEO has backed this 100%. The PDF file, pedo pan. Old, maybe it's Maybelline, maybe it's MAGA means make America gay again, gay again, gay again, make America gay again. That's why he got the support from the Proud Boys. Listen, I love him, man. You know, he'd probably be cooler if he just came out. You know, he wouldn't have all that repression building up. But you're right, Mama Molly, the CEOs backed him, as we talked about here on the show. Please subscribe and the notification bell, because power submits to power. They think where Donald Trump will cut their taxes, cut the tariffs for them, which he's done. They think they'll make more money supporting him, and they don't care about the ethics of it because they don't give a shit about you, our communities. They just want your money. Oh, God damn, it makes me angry. I love the dude that's broken his brain typing beta. Oh, you know what's beta? Sandman, you know what's beta? You don't do a live show defending your beliefs. Huh? Why don't you go to your troll channel and go live? Huh? You dumb bitch? Now, pardon my language. Jesus will forgive me for that. He's not going to forgive some of you for claiming that you believe him and then going this route. I want to play Cheering for a Change or whatever, a link down below this TikTok video, because this girl calls out Megyn Kelly, and more power to this girl. I stand in solidarity with her. This is amazing. We need more of this amplified to show this bitch ain't normal.
I'm Eloise and I'm 14 years old. I wasn't even gonna say anything because the topic is an adult one. My mom even made a video about it yesterday because we didn't feel it was an appropriate topic for a child to speak about. But after hearing you go on camera and explain that Epstein wasn't into 8-year-olds, just the barely legal type like 15, I realized you might need an actual reality check from a literal child. So let me help you out. Megan, people in my grade are turning 15 right now. Some of us still have baby faces. Some of us still have braces. Some of us still call our parents when we're scared at night. Some of us still look like middle schoolers because we basically are. And the fact that a grown woman needs a teenager to explain that is honestly terrifying. Here's the part you seem confused about. Under federal law, anyone under 18 is a child. No asterisk. No, but they hit puberty. No, older kids don't count. Anyone under 18 is a child. You said you were just giving facts, but here's the real fact. What you said wasn't factual. It was minimizing. It was making abuse sound like a technicality. And Megan, here's the part you really need to hear. If a 14-year-old has to get on the internet and explain to a grown adult with national platform that children are children and there's no age where abuse suddenly becomes less bad, then the problem isn't confusion, it's corruption. Because kids my age aren't supposed to be the ones correcting you. We're not supposed to be the moral compass in a room full of adults who should have known better. But here we are. If my voice makes you uncomfortable, good, it should. Because the minute adults start defending predators by debating the age of a child, you're not protecting the truth. You're protecting the predator. And you shouldn't need a freshman to tell you that. Hey, Megan.
I am so, as a dad, oh my God, I don't even want to get teared up. This is why I don't like playing this shit, because that makes me so proud. That mother should be so proud. Because when I was growing up, we were a little more fortunate because we had adults that would say stuff like, we want it better for the kids. And now we got adults saying this shit. And I am so proud of that girl. I have daughters. So this hits a little different. You know, this hits much different for me. This is, this is one of those things where it's like, man, these people are doing everything and anything to whittle the truth away to some kind of excuse that you'll take. And it's unreal that, number one, there's fucking people like these MAGAs in my comments defending this. My Christ, may you never have to encounter any of this in your real life. Just consider yourself, for people who defend it and for people who excuse it away, just consider yourself lucky and privileged that you've never had to deal with this. Okay? J666. I run a nonforprofit.org. I don't make a dime. In fact, I pay more into it, so yes, I know how rich charities are ran and $1 million paychecks to CEOs, 100%. And Megyn Kelly, then maybe whoever said she should be looked into by CPS, maybe that's right. If she has a 14-year-old daughter, because here's the thing. At some point, she's going to have to explain these words to her daughter. And you just pray, And that's the thing that a lot of MAGA had to do. They had to FAFO. They had to fuck around to find out. Like the soy boy farmers in Arkansas that were like, whoa, Trump's going to help us. And then the tariffs are bankrupting their farms. And all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, we thought he was just going to go after the people of a color we don't like, And you just pray that she never has to be on the receiving end of this. But she's well paid where, she's a husk of a human. So she probably has no soul, because to be able to go on air and say shit like this. And we played the audio. Even in the audio, she said, I know it's disgusting. And it's like, I've said multiple times, if you know it's disgusting, maybe you shouldn't be using it as an excuse. But again, America, I implore you to think about what they're trying to normalize you to. What is this trying to say? Think about that. Critically think. I know, MAGA, this is hard for you, but I want you to critically think what they're trying to normalize you into thinking. That, okay, so I guess the files don't matter? And all for what? For some 80-year-old who probably shits his pants, who was blowing Bubba, to look good, to feel good about himself? The country's in ruins. And if you think it's not, go grocery shopping with $50, okay? Only take a 50 and go see what you can get. It's unreal what people will do despite their own noses. Speaking of that, we gotta lighten the mood. I'm gonna play some George Carlin, okay? because I love George Carlin, and God rest his soul. He was a prophet, a comedian, and a great philosopher.
Want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork, and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And
did you hear what he said? They don't want critical thinkers.
educated, I love the poorly educated. Smart people don't like me.
Any of these people that are going to defend their pedo in chief, just get the fuck out of here, man. Real, for real. I'm going to play this. This is the Survivor's PSA. And if you think, number one, that holding powerful people is a political thing, you're a sad, sad individual. But number two, if you need a safe space where you can't handle yourself in the live chat, go to Ben Shapiro, go to Tim Pool. He'll tell you how, go to Megyn Kelly. She'll make you feel nice and warm inside. Here it is. This is the PSA. This photo is right there right now. And then they switch to each person holding a picture of them.
I suffered so much pain. So much pain.
So much pain.
I suffered so much pain. I was 14 years old.
I was 16 years old.
I was 16.
17.
14 years old. This is me. This was me.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein. There are about 1,000 of us.
Did you hear that? 1,000.
It's time to bring the secrets out of the shadows. It's time to shine a light into the darkness.
Now, for those people that will still, these morons, these absolute morons, the maggots, I call them maggots, but now that MAGA means make America gay again, I don't think I'm going to use that word. But for the people who say, well, why didn't Biden, why didn't Obama, why didn't, Bill Clinton release them? Here's my question to you. Why doesn't Donald Trump be the hero? Why didn't he release them on January 20th when he got inaugurated? We can't look back and go, well, why didn't they? But we can say, why doesn't he? Why doesn't he claim to be the hero he is, right? Why not? Watch tomorrow. Watch tomorrow when the Congress votes to release the files, and watch. He's going to block it, and he's going to say it's an open investigation. We legally can't give you the paperwork. But I say to you, to all the Biden, Bush, Obama, Clinton, why didn't Franklin Delano Roosevelt release the files? Why didn't Grover Cleveland release them, huh? I say this to you. If Trump's such a hero and nothing to worry about, why doesn't he? He's the one that went on Fox News saying, we're going to release it. He appointed Dan Vagina and Cash App Patel because they had done podcasts on the Epstein Files. Like, that's what they're known for. That's what those guys gain notoriety for, and they're heading the FBI. Why not them? So save your breath. Save your breath. Save your little thumbs from saying, why didn't Biden? Huh? Why didn't Thomas Jefferson release the files? Think about that. And And let me just say, if Donald Trump is so innocent, why hasn't he released them yet? And why is he going to block them tomorrow? Mark my word, I'll be here tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get the whole thing. You know what I mean? Hopefully we get the whole thing. The whole thing. Not redacted, not edited, but the whole thing. You know, why didn't this guy release them? You see, well, who's he here with? Very fine people, right? Very fine people. That's who he's with. Right? Right? You're a coastal elite Nepo baby. Democrat? Huh? There he is. Look at him with Rudy Giuliani. MAGA. Make America Gay Again. I love it. I love it. I want a rainbow hat that says Make America Gay Again. Love it. I think that's so great. And watch, the insecure men are going to go, really? You want a rainbow hat? Yeah, I don't. That doesn't challenge my masculinity. Feminism is for everybody. Supporting the gay community is for everybody. It does not affect me at all. I can support other communities. I'm very secure in who I am. It's funny. Not this guy, though. You notice how Melania hasn't been seen. You know old B. Best, the Slovenian immigrant that is married to Donald Trump? I think she came here on an Epstein visa. Somebody said it was an EB1 visa. What does that mean? Epstein Buddy 1? Anyways, she's an immigrant married to the president. We haven't seen her forever. And all of a sudden, they start tweeting. Once we get the email about somebody, oh, hold on. Remember when MAGA was like, oh, her emails, lock her up. Emails don't prove anything. But you know the emails where it said, ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump Baba. And immediately, they were like, oh, look at how in love we are. Look at how in love. We've never tweeted this before, but look at how in love. Look at how in love. Not thinking of Bubba right here. Not thinking of Bubba. Oh my God. Look at this. CNN, Trump's in the Epstein Files. NBC, Trump in the Epstein Files. ABC, Trump in the Epstein Files. Fox, Taco Bell items rumored to be removed from the menu. Source, a Reddit poster. Fucking Christ. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, I wanted to show you this. The predator theory. The uncanny valley feeling. The unease caused by things that look almost, but not quite, human. Maybe a survival reflex from a time when a predator with humanoid features used mimicry to hunt hominids. That's who you support? My Christ. My Christ. Anyways, Donica Lewinsky. Let's see if she blocks the files tomorrow, you know. We don't know if he put it in his big, beautiful bill. We don't know. The other thing I wanted to play for you, hold on. Megyn, oh yeah, I didn't even finish the Megyn Kelly story. Well, I'll sum it up, and it's linked down below. Christina Ricci said Megyn Kelly is a danger to children, which she is. I would agree, you know. I would 100% agree with that. What was the other thing I had? Oh, did you guys watch Last Week Tonight with John Oliver? He talked about public access, or not public access. He talked about the public media, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which is a favorite of mine. And all the stuff he showed is funny because it's stuff that I talk about here. Mr. Rogers, what's his name? Bob with the paintbrush. But I feel it's important to just play this Mr. Rogers testifying in front of Congress and see how far we as a society here in America have deteriorated. Because Mr. Rogers did great work. PBS and what they call woke media really does great work for families, for children, and it provides us access that certain areas of the country, especially rural areas, don't have many options. So I just wanted to play this because John Oliver covered it, and I thought now's a great time to just, boost this. This is Mr. Rogers testifying in front of Congress to earn the $20 million for the Corporation of Public Broadcasting.
This is what I give. I give an expression of care every day to each child to help him realize that he is unique. I end the program by saying, you've made this day a special day by just your being you. There's no person in the whole world like you, and I like you just the way you are. And I feel that if we in public television can only make it clear that feelings are mentionable and manageable, we will have done a great service.
I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. Looks like you just earned the $20 million.
Wow. Amazing, right? What Mr. Rogers had to say. Such an amazing spirit, amazing human. Some of you, like myself, were raised on his shows and his involvement in our living rooms throughout the day as children, helping teach us things. He had radical messages. When there was segregated pools, he was having Officer Clemens to dip his feet in the pool and share a towel with him. These radical, powerful messages that are good for humanity, And it's funny because John Oliver went to joke about what Republicans, I'll play a little bit of it, not too much.
That is a truly heartwarming thing. That would never, ever happen today. If Mr. Rogers had given that exact same testimony this year, Ted Cruz would have called him a radical left lunatic, Fox News would have run with the headline, Mr. Rogers' socialist neighborhood, and the White House would have posted an AI video of President Trump kicking him in the balls.
And that's true. And why do they do it? I just want you to remember, thank you guys for the super chats. Please hit subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. But I'm not doing this with some oil fracking backer. With Rupert Murdoch, who's an Australian immigrant who owns Fox News and all these, puppets, these millionaire puppets. They're doing it because they're living comfortably and they don't feel like the society that they're pushing for is ever going to affect them because they live in a separate tier of society, just like Charlie Clan. Yes, I call him Charlie Clan. He pushed for, hold on, let me just have him tell you what Charlie Clan pushed for, okay? Let me have Charlie tell you.
I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights.
Hui. Sorry. He got in trouble. No, you wish. A loved one just got home, and I always take a moment to welcome my loved ones home. I absolutely enjoy my family. I don't know if you feel the same way. You can tell some people don't. The party of family values really aren't often seen together. But
I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single.
You hear that? That's Charlie. That's his own words. Charlie Clan, the racist. He said that because he didn't think it pertained to him. He was pushing it. It was okay as long as it was, those other kids. As long as it wasn't him. Because, they think they live in a different society, which for the most part they do. But that's why they push these things. That's why these mouthpieces, these millionaire mouthpieces for billionaires, you know, don't give a shit if you lose your pension, lose your health care, lose your food stamps. They'll just have an excuse for you. You know, you didn't work hard enough. You didn't deserve it. You shouldn't have it, which is anti-American. To say Americans should suffer for whatever reason is just anti-American. It's very, very warped. And somehow expressing those thoughts, it's so weird to describe because, you know, these Fox News pundits and the like, they're like the Megyn Kellys, the Ben Shapinos, the Tim Pools, who want Americans to suffer in a certain way. Some people think makes them patriotic. And I would say it's the least patriotic thing to want Americans to suffer. If anything, you should want to ensure that our country, even the most vulnerable, the weakest link, the you know, let's think of like, you know, anyone marginalized, people with disabilities, women, people of color, immigrants, anybody like that. You would think you'd want to protect them because they're our countrymen. And somehow some of you Americans have been tricked into thinking the most patriotic thing is to hate your neighbor. Oh, God. But you know why people like Megyn Kelly and they do that? Because they're paid big bucks and they don't live in your neighborhood and they don't support your local businesses and they'll never have to deal with any of that shit. But as long as you suffer and they got paid well to promote that division, and as long as you'll pick up the cross for them and charge on, they'll keep making a lot of money. So I hope. Oh, by the way, the tariffs. Someone brought up the tariffs. And I wanted to... Where's the tariff thing? Hold on. There was a tariff thing. Oh, this. Remember when MAGA, Make America Gay Again, was like, tariffs are good for the country. We're not paying them. You know, the whole debate of like, tariffs have brought in all this money. It's so good for the country. Donald Trump is set to sign an executive order cutting tariffs on beef, coffee, bananas, and other key imports as part of a push to lower grocery costs for U.S. consumers. If he's going to cut tariffs to lower costs, what does imposing tariffs do? Do you understand that if he's going to cut tariffs to lower costs, that means the tariffs raise costs? It's almost like his cult following. It's not only that they're just blindly loyal and blindly faithful, even though he's a pedo, and all over the Epstein Files. And if he's not, just release him. You know, prove your innocence. Prove that Putin doesn't have the photos, not a photo, not photos, the photos of Trump, Bubba. But it's almost like MAGA is severely stupid. You know, like mentally handicapped, like really, really, really moronic. Because Donald Trump has not only said,
smart people don't like me.
Smart people don't like him. And people were like, yeah, screw those smart people. Not realizing like he's calling you stupid. But now if he cuts tariffs, this is where it's like, it doesn't get any more. If he's cutting tariffs to lower costs, he put the tariffs and raised your costs. The exact opposite of what you voted for this man to do, he did. You said, please, sir, lower egg price. And he went, tariffs. That will lower it. But what he's telling you is cutting tariffs lowers it. We need, I'm just going to show you what I believe in. Because we need to add to this. We really need to add to this. Where is it? We got to start the Bald Moose party. I gotta update this little list that I have. I took it from online, but it needs to be updated because the other thing that really America should be pushing for is free higher education. You know, that's the other thing on this. It's like, it says overturn Citizens United, codify women's riot, limit SCOTUS, electoral college, gerrymandering, universal health care. Like right under there, we got to edit this. After universal health care, it should say free higher education. You know, like public schools, we have free higher education paid for by billionaires' tax dollars because we need our public to be better educated, just to be able to do a little critical thinking. Like if a politician says smart people don't like me, like enough Americans go, oh, he's calling us stupid. What an asshole. Fuck you. You know, like just to have enough self-respect to understand when someone's calling you stupid. You know, like that's like that should be here. You know, universal health care for all, awesome. And then enough schooling to know when a politician calls you stupid. You know, that's what I believe in that, you know. I see there was a MAGA in here, Make America Gay Again, a big supporter of Danica Lewinsky. By the way, the other thing that I love, can I just show you? Somebody put this online, and I thought it was so funny. So funny. Let me show you this one. Let me show you this one. And to think, the real ballroom was his mouth all along. Not, they're referencing the real ballroom not being the Jeffrey Epstein Memorial Ballroom. You know, the one that Danica Lewinsky's erecting right now. It was so funny. What else? Oh, another story I wanted to show you because people still supporting ICE. Big, beautiful Bubba. MAGA don't care though. That's right, Crisp. MAGA, what is a woman? Trump is. Who said that? Melania said that. Of course she did. Good to have you here, Melania. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Oh my God. Okay, so I wanted to show you the story, link down below. Everything we plan to talk about, I linked the articles down below so you could read it for yourself and you can see if you caught something I didn't catch. But if you still don't think ICE is, you know, in the year of our Lord 2025, the Gestapo, if they're just not Stephen Miller, that beach Nazis private police, you know Stephen Miller, he sounds like Pauly Shore.
But Democrat leaders
in
the Ninth Circuit.
Chicken jockey. He is a big chicken jockey. ICE deported a U.S. Army veteran, a Purple Heart recipient. Army veteran and Purple Heart recipient who served 2 tours in Iraq was deported on Friday morning from an immigration detention facility in Florence, Arizona. AZ State Rep Raquel Terran told Fox 10 Phoenix that Jose Barco, a Venezuelan-born veteran whose family fled Cuba as refugees, was deported at 4 a.m. from Arizona. This is a Purple Heart recipient veteran deported by Donald Trump's ICE. Go ahead, MAGA, defend it. What I want you guys to understand is that nothing he's doing. If you thought, oh, well, ICE was going after the criminals, the ones hanging outside of Home Depot, weird place for criminals, you know, the parents picking up their kids from daycare or kindergarten, and now the Army veteran Purple Heart recipients, when are you going to wake up? This story linked down below. You could read about it yourself. No, he did not commit a heinous crime. Again, hold on. Barco's family has still not received confirmation of Jose's current location as of Friday evening. He served 2 tours in Iraq. He's a Venezuelan-born veteran. And he was not able to reach out to his family before any of this happened. Immigration enforcement told Fox 10 that Barco was deported to Nogales in Mexico. The court previously ordered for his removal to either Venezuela, Cuba, or Mexico. He was a political dissident, his father was, in Cuba, and he enlisted in the army at 17. He was released, so his original charge, again, in 2009. Oh my God. Barco was sentenced to 52 years after being convicted of firing a gun at a house party. He was suffering from PTSD. And if you know any veterans, you understand this. But he was released on parole this January after serving 15 years. So again, the person who said what heinous crime they commit. Oh, I don't know how stupid people are. But I just want to ask you, hold on, who was it? Who was it that, hold on, who asked what heinous crime did they commit? Who asked? How far back is it? Jesus. Okay, behave. So he didn't. He was released on parole. But let me ask you, would you consider a heinous crime something that might have been in the Epstein Files? You know, being inappropriate with children? I would consider these things heinous. You know, in my mind, that's heinous. I'm just curious what your definition of heinous is, because maybe you're like, oh, him, you know, him serving time. Again, I don't get it. Him serving time and getting released for good behavior. But then ICE just, you know, they're confiscating Americans. They're detaining and kidnapping Americans. This happens all the time. I just want to point out this one specifically. But so you consider heinous being released from jail for having good behavior? I'm just trying to figure out like what your definition of heinous is. Because mine is like when creepy old men say shit like this about teens. I'd be like, oh, that's heinous, you know? But we can't hold any of them accountable because they won't release the files. But you're saying a heinous crime is serving your time, getting released, being out, and just ICE says, oh, you're not from here. You know, you weren't born here. Your parents fled as dissidents. You weren't born here. Even though you got the Purple Heart, you served 2 tours. I don't know. I can't bend my mind that way. I'm trying to figure out, you know, what you guys think is heinous about him not being born here. Why was Maxwell in prison? Heinous. I would call that a heinous crime. And why would she get special treatment? But again, I'm trying to understand stupid, you know? Like I'm trying to comprehend stupidity. People who will blindly defend, people who are like, hold on. People who, you know, like defend stuff like this. Because to me, this is heinous. Either or. Being a veteran who was just released, you know, like there was nothing. This is what I mean. It's like he was released from prison. He was just detained again because he's not from here. Is that heinous? Is that what MAGA thinks? If you're not from America, you're heinous? That would explain a lot. That really would. Blind obedience. That's what it would be. You know how good Cuba's doing considering they have embargoes basically put on them across the world because of America? You understand there are Americans go to Cuba to become doctors because their public education system rivals ours and it's free. They have a vaccine for lung cancer. You understand the only reason they're suffering is because America doesn't want you to understand that socialism is really good for you. But if you're against socialism, you hate the military too. You hate the American military. American military is socialism. I hate to break it to you. Why don't you MAGA, who are all for this stuff, you know, you defend Donica Lewinsky and Bubba. Why doesn't MAGA go to Russia where they have an authoritarian? He'll go there with you. Look. Ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump. That's compromising material on Trump that a foreign leader has. And you support that? That's anti-American, my friend. I hate to break it to you. No, I love to break it to you. It's really, really wild that you frauds continually think that you're somehow American when all you worship, all you be obedient to is the most anti-American rhetoric and actions I've ever seen. And that's why I want to bring that story to you. Because this is an American vet who, if anything, you know, I would say doesn't even need prison. They need rehab. Our prison system does not help people. And if you're suffering from PTSD, if you're suffering from a debilitating disease, you need help. You know, prison is not going to give you that help. That's the heinous part about that. Fuck, man. Americans have been so propagandized. They're self-loathing. They're just taught to hate each other and hate themselves and think there's no value in anything. But again, that's why I tell you, we are going to do these things. Donald Trump, let him crumble capitalism. Let this regime crumble in front of you. Watch it and speak out against it and continually push against it. Push back against this bullshit. These are our communities. Donald Trump's never been to a grocery store. You think he goes grocery shopping? Christ. The guy didn't even know that word existed. He's had some nanny shop for him his whole life. You know, this dude has ADHD dementia. And you think somehow he's for the common person? We can do all these things. We can make it happen. So on this Epstein Eve, tomorrow the files should be released. But again, you know, we saw his tweet where he said, the House Oversight Committee can have whatever they are legally entitled to. So what is that setting up? We know this criminal behavior. He's setting up some way to block it. So tomorrow they'll get released, I'm guessing. And then he's going to say, well, we can't give you anything because the files is an open investigation. Just like the police policing themselves. Open investigation. Interesting. Interesting take. It's weird, though, because remember when... where was it? Remember when they were, like, so proud? Release of the Epstein Files Part 1 and nothing came out of this? Remember when they could use it as propaganda? By the way, I didn't get to talk about this the other day. I just want to bring it up real quick. There is an investigation, or you know, the media looking into Kristi Noem and the firm tied to her. And I've even joked about it here on the channel that she was spending $200 million of taxpayer money on, or $220 million, on like these crazy commercials and stuff. And this dude, Josh Kaplan, investigative journalist, was tying her to this consulting firm. You can read all this. And it turns out that she's been funneling, just like the rest of them, looting our government. You know, they're like freaking pirates, you know, butt pirates. They're like butt pirates. And they're all looting our government and taking all our taxpayer money. See, I joked about this. Noam filmed it on the second day of the government shutdown, aired on Fox and Friends, that she's overpaying to make these commercials using taxpayer money, these propaganda commercials. And she's paying companies that she is tied to. See, there's that wildebeest. Why, if they believe in like not having gender affirming care, why do all these people get, like all of these people? Why, if they don't believe in gender affirming care, why do they all get Botox, hair plants, makeup, tattooing? Does he tattoo his makeup, tanning stuff? Look at this. None of these people are natural. And this is the party that wants you to believe that their, you know, gender affirming care is bad. Really? Maybe it's Maybelline, maybe it's dementia. Really? Fucking little boy that believed he was a real boy? Really? Beavis or Butthead? Really? 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 Hair plants? You're so against gender affirming care, but you get hair plants? Really? Guy that used to look like a nerd, now he looks like fucking, what's Superman's, the guy from Superman, the bad guy. And then this dude, you know, he came out looking like Bruno Mars in that Joe Rogan interview. Jesus Christ, 24 karat. Feel it in the air. This is the party of gender affirming care is bad, right? Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe it's the president. My Christ, people. By the way, when you support these billionaires, I want you to see this. See this yacht? This is like the shit that they have. I got inside intel drone footage of some of these billionaires' yachts. And when you say, oh, they can't be taxed, then I always say, why? If they can't be taxed, they're living outside of their means. This is the shit they own, you know? While Americans starve, this is what they're doing, just so you know. And this won't be seen anywhere else. This is not on the news. You can't find this on fucking Google. I got inside track to these photos. So this is a billionaire or a millionaire's, 100 millionaires yacht, maybe a billionaire. I don't want to own a yacht. That's what you don't understand. I want to make sure kids in our communities don't go hungry because their parents work full time, but the Walmart heirs that were just born into wealth don't pay their employees so much or so little. They pay their employees so little that they still need SNAP and their kids go hungry. I don't give a shit about a yacht. I don't know if you've ever been on one. They're not that great. I'm thinking that maybe they all own yachts to go onto international waters to do their nefarious deeds. Who knows? Release the Epstein Files. Prove you're not in them. But let me just say this. It tells me more about you when you go, oh, he's crying, he can't have a yacht. No, I understand. You probably are dying for one. But me, I don't give a shit. I just want to make sure 1 in 5 American kids aren't going hungry. That's what it is. It might be even higher right now. It might be higher than 1 in 5 American kids go hungry, go food insecure. That's what I want to fix. Why? Because we're a wealthy nation. We have enough food. There's enough money. It's just a handful of people are hoarding it all. I'd rather see, you know, people not lose their homes because they got a medical diagnosis. That's what I want. People making $40K a year defending billionaires is peak irony. Hey, dude, it's good to see you. I bring it up because you morons, and I mean you, MAGA, the people who Donald Trump said, smart people don't like me, and you were like, I love you, sir. You don't understand the kind of wealth they have. It's just a number, and you've been so normalized to not understand that they're paying themselves hundreds of millions of dollars while their employees, you know, can't afford health care. That's not a great society. Ooh, hold on. There's some more news coming out. All right, guys. Let's pick this up tomorrow after the Epstein vote, okay? I don't think anything's going to happen until then. There's no way the Republicans are going to go hold my beer while they kick themselves in the dick like they did last week with the emails. Isn't that still so funny? Like, the Democrats released 3 emails, and the Republicans were like, oh, they redacted it to make Trump look bad. Here's 20,000. And then we get this. Ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. The Republicans are trying to outdo the Democrats and kicking themselves in the dick. Oh. If it wasn't so sad, it would be hilarious. That's why we had to create the word sad hilarious. I think, okay, we covered the survivor's new PSA, public service announcement. The 14-year-old cheering for a change or something, link down below. Oh, Saturday Night Live, they covered my joke. Jeffrey Epstein vacations at Gmail. So funny. Carlin, John Oliver, Donnie Trump, who says it's all a hoax, folks.
Look, this is a Democrat hoax.
Look, this is a hoax. I gotta go back into the bathroom and touch up my makeup. The people wanting an alpha male to lead them. Guy wears makeup every day. And you're telling me MAGA doesn't stand for Make America Gay Again? Come on. All right, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Who said Walmart is a Democrat donor? You should look up these companies. Remember when there was the big hubbub about Disney World and Ron DeSanctimonious or whatever Donald Trump called him? If you looked up on Open Secrets, you'll see that Disney donated to the Republicans and the Democrats. If you look up Walmart, I don't even have to do it. I could just tell you, Walmart donates to Democrats and Republicans. These corporations are not your friends. I know you think, oh, they're Democrats, so they're not my friend. They're not your friend because they're corporations and they exist to exploit your community and take money out of your community and not reinvest it. Okay? These corporations, it's like they go to the casino and they have so much money, they go to roulette and they go red and black. We'll win either way. So it's funny they use that as a piece, like, oh, the Walmart's woke. Really? The place that pays their employees so little that most of their full-time employees have to use Snap? The Walton heirs that are welfare queens, they utilize our tax money to subsidize their workers. They're woke, right? Shows how stupid people are. But again, that's like the Tim Pool mentality. Walmart, Disney's woke. Really? Disney is? Okay. That giant corporation that, exploits their workers so much that they have to go on strike. They're woke. Okay, yeah, I forgot. Disney is the underground movement, man. Oh, fucking give me a break. Okay, guys, for the rest of you that want to follow up on what happens tomorrow with the Epstein saga, my call, anybody's prediction, my prediction is the Trump regime will say, we can't give you the files. It's an open investigation. I know a lot of people are saying it. But that's what it's looking like. Hopefully I'm wrong. If he's got nothing to hide, he'll gladly release them. I don't know why he said he'll legally give them what he can. It sounds a little suspect. It sounds like he's setting it up to not release them, which is weird because remember when they were so proud? To release empty binders with Epstein Files on the cover? Part 1. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see. And hopefully we get him, All right, guys. Hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully you check out, link down below, the videos I showed you. Share that PSA from the Epstein survivors. Share it. Amplify it. Pass it around. Let's hold these people accountable. This is not a political thing. This is not a MAGA, Make America Gay Again, or a Democrat thing. I'm neither. I'm not in either party, but what I'm telling you is this isn't political. This is about the wealthiest, most powerful people in the world doing heinous things. And I consider heinous, like the royal formerly known as Andrew, formerly known as Prince Andrew. I consider it heinous that he was like, oh, I go to Jeffrey Epstein's and there would just be teen girls there. Like a 50-year-old dude just had teen girls that weren't related to him, weren't his neighbors, kids or something, like just stray teen girls, and you didn't think anything was creepy about a 50-year-old having these girls there? Like, Americans have been too normalized into this, and time to wake up, okay? This is not political. This is about holding these creeps to account for what they've done. Okay, solidarity with the survivors. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Be good to each other. I only subscribe because I think we team up podcast. I don't know what that means, but thank you for subscribing. Hold them all accountable equally, 100%. This is not political. I don't give a shit if it's Clinton, Larry Summers, Alan Dersh, or Dirty Donald Trump with his photos that apparently Vladimir Putin has. Hold them all accountable. See, MAGA just thinks because they're in a cult, they think everybody else is in a cult. It's like, I don't have any Clinton merch. Hate to break it to you. I don't give a shit about those assholes. All right, guys. Have a good one. Peace.